Now, about a month ago, I took delivery of the Surface Laptop 4. I've been putting it through its paces for the past 30 days, pretty much as my daily driver to see how that entry-level model running that AMD Ryzen 4680U would perform here in 2021. And it's all looking good so far, although there was some interesting results whether you plug it in and when you don't plug it in. We'll talk more about that in this review. I also like the display. I like the design, although I would like to see a refresh next year to give it a more sleek and modern look. We're going to get into that and more here in this video. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is my 30-day review of the Surface Laptop 4 from Microsoft. Coming up. Now, as we take a look at the specs in the interest of transparency and full disclosure, I'm not being paid by Microsoft. I'm not being sponsored by Microsoft. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own. No one is seeing this video before its release. Microsoft is not getting copy approval. They're seeing this video for the first time, just like you. Now, this unit was purchased with my own money. I did not receive a review unit from Microsoft. Okay, let's talk pricing, and the Laptop 4 starts at $999. If you are a student or a teacher or you're in the military, Microsoft does give you a discount. You'll get $100 off the asking price with a starting price of $899. For those interested, I'll leave a link in the description below for more information and where you can buy one. The Surface Laptop 4 comes in either a 13.5-inch version or a 15-inch version. I have the 13.5-inch here today. Comes in different colors, but I went with the Platinum with that Alcantara interior. And while I like the design of the Laptop 4, it pretty much is the same design we've seen year over year. It's very similar to the Laptop 3, pretty much identical to that model. And that's where criticism has to come in. Why not try a more bold design, try to get a little bit more modern? And in particular, I would like to see them slim out those bezels, giving it a more sleek and modern look. Now, I decided to go with the AMD Ryzen 5 4680U mobile processor with the Radeon Graphics Microsoft Surface Edition with 8 GB of LPDDR4X RAM, 256 gigs of SSD storage, and that comes in at the entry-level price for $999. And as I mentioned, if you are a student, teacher, or in the military, you will get a discount, bringing that to $899. Okay, let's talk about the ports. On the left side, you get a USB-A port. You also get a USB-C port that does data charge, display out, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. Moving over to the right side is the Surface Connect port. That's it. Notably missing, there's no microSD card reader. And of course, this being an AMD Ryzen processor means there's no Thunderbolt 4 support, but there's no Thunderbolt 4 support either on the Intel-based model as well. Now, performance on the Laptop 4 running that AMD Ryzen 4680U processor is pretty interesting. When plugged in, as you can see from these benchmarks, the numbers are very good. Performance was as you'd expect with an AMD Ryzen processor. But when you unplug it, you'll notice the difference in the scores from when it's plugged in, from when it's not plugged in, both running at performance mode, and you can see the difference there. So you will definitely need to plug it in to get the maximum amount of performance on the Laptop 4, and that might be an issue for some people. Now, of course, the Laptop 4 is not a gaming laptop per se, but if you want to do some gaming, I found that medium settings might be the sweet spot to get somewhat playable frame rates on more popular titles. And when it comes to surface temperatures, the top deck never got above 39 degrees Celsius, and the bottom deck never above 43 degrees Celsius, meaning it can get pretty warm, but not overly hot. So the surface temperatures are actually pretty good. And the fan will kick in under heavy load, but it's not too loud, not too obnoxious, and that's always good. The Surface Laptop 4 has a 45.8 watt-hour battery, and it did 13 hours and 12 minutes on my continuous web surfing test over Wi-Fi at 150 nits. That's a nice year-to-year improvement when it comes to battery life. So you can expect pretty much all-day battery life with mixed use on this laptop, and again, a nice improvement year over year. And if you do need to plug in, the supplied 65-watt power adapter takes about an hour and a half to charge this laptop to full. Not too bad. Now, you could also charge via the USB-C port, which also charged pretty quickly as well, around the same amount of time. And that's, of course, if you use a similar USB-C 65-watt power adapter. And I like the fact that the supplied power adapter also has another USB-A port to allow you to charge your peripherals such as your smartphone and the like. Okay, let's talk about the display, and what we're looking at here is a 13.5-inch PixelSense display with a resolution of 2256 by 1504. And for those keeping score, that's 201 pixels per inch, and that also means it has a 3:2 aspect ratio. Now, I do like a 3:2 aspect ratio, as you know. That is because you'll do less scrolling when it comes to web browsing. It's better for productivity work. That means you'll see more on the display when it comes to spreadsheets and the like. Now, the display itself is really good with some very deep blacks, good white points, excellent contrast, and a low delta E score of 1.67, making it pretty color accurate as well. It also covers the color gamut very well, 92% sRGB, 69% sRGB, 69% of the DCI P3 wide color gamut, and 63% NTSC, making it a very good choice for content creators to do Lightroom, Photoshop, and of course, video editing. But unfortunately, this is a very glossy display which shows a lot of glare and reflections, and that is a criticism of mine that I've had with the Laptop 3, and we're seeing it here again with the Laptop 4. But don't get me wrong, this is still a great display to consume media. Watching Netflix, Amazon, and YouTube was very good on this display. It's just a little too glossy for my liking. Now, the good news is, despite it being glossy, it does get pretty bright at 380 nits, despite the fact that Microsoft rates this at over 400 nits. I actually measured 380, as I mentioned, and it's still good enough for both indoor and outdoor use, although I would avoid direct sunlight due to the glossy nature of the display. And as I mentioned earlier, I would have liked to have seen slimmer bezels on the Laptop 4. Now, as I mentioned in my unboxing video, the Laptop 4 supports the Surface Pen. That means you can take notes, you can sketch out artwork on the Laptop 4, although it is a clamshell design, really not meant to take notes or sketch out artwork. It's there as a convenience factor. When you're in a pinch and you need to take notes, it's nice to be able to do that with the Laptop 4. I wouldn't necessarily think it's optimized for it, but it's nice to have it anyway. But the pen, of course, is not included with the purchase. You'll have to buy it separately. So this is the front-facing camera on the brand new Surface Laptop 4 from Microsoft. It has a 720p 30 frames per second webcam. I think it's actually pretty decent, good for a Zoom, good for all your work from home needs, I guess. I want to know how it looks and how it sounds. I want your opinion on this. Let me know in the comment section below. Now, Microsoft claims that this has been improved, and what do you think about it? Here's an example from last year's Surface Laptop 3, which I thought was very good in both indoor and outdoor scenarios. What do you think about this iteration this time around? I want to know. The only thing that's user upgradable is the SSD, and iFixit did a great job of tearing down the laptop and showing you how to get inside to change out the SSD. The link for that video will be in the description below. And speaking of the SSD, here are the reads and writes that I got with that 256 gigabyte SSD included with that entry-level model. Good reads, decent writes. Now, for those wondering, yes, you can open the lid with one finger, as I demonstrated in the unboxing video. And as far as that keyboard itself is concerned, I absolutely love the keyboard on the Laptop 4. Good key travel, really nice tactile feedback. You don't feel like your fingers will bottom out. You also get a multi-stage backlight, which allows you to get work done in a dark room or a dimly lit environment. The keyboard is also pretty quiet, so it'll be great for use in a meeting. And they also like the glass precision touchpad, decently sized, very responsive, 2-finger scrolling is buttery smooth, and all the gestures work as you'd expect. Now, as far as the sound is concerned, there are no visible speakers on the Laptop 4. All the sound emanates from below the keyboard. And this time around, they're using Dolby Atmos sound on this, which makes it a little bit better. I would say these are above average speakers with pretty decent volume, a hint of bass, and the mids are pretty good. I would say, again, above average audio experience. Okay, let's bring it all home. What do I think about the Surface Laptop 4 here for 2021? I gotta say, I do like it a lot in terms of the build quality. It's excellent. In terms of the display, it's really nice, although I wish it was less reflective this time around. And I was also hoping that the display would have thinner bezels. Unfortunately, just like the Laptop 3, we get those thicker bezels. I'm not a big fan of that. And as far as that design is concerned, to me, it's getting a little bit dated, a little bit tired. I want to see a more fresh and modern look next time around. Now, performance is great as long as you're plugged in. If you're not plugged in, performance will go down a little bit. And that's, of course, a save on battery life, which year to year is a big improvement. I really like this all-day battery life you get with a Laptop 4. Kudos to Microsoft in that regard. But despite all that, at the end of the day, this is still an excellent laptop that really speaks to a lot of people, whether you're a student, a business person, or an everyday consumer looking for a really nice portable laptop that really gives you solid performance and excellent battery life. That's why I'm going to give this a 90%, making the Surface Laptop 4 definitely worth your money. So what do you think about the Laptop 4 here for 2021? I like it. As far as the design, I would like to see a refresh. I'll give it a little bit of a more sleek and modern look. I'd like to see a thinned out bezels next time around. Hopefully that's the case. It wasn't the case this year. Although the AMD Ryzen processor under the hood is a nice upgrade from last year's AMD models. And I gotta say, performance is very good as long as you're plugged in. Now, once you unplug it, performance does go down a bit. I guess presumably to get you better battery life. And speaking about battery life, really good on this. Nice year-to-year improvement over the Laptop 3. You're looking at all-day battery life with mixed use, and that's something we definitely like to see. I think this will appeal to a really nice general audience, students, teachers, whether you're a business person or just a general consumer. I think you're going to like the Laptop 4 with its really nice solid build. Decent looks. Again, I would like to see a more modern look next time around, but really a nice general purpose laptop that I think will appeal to the masses. Now, at a starting price of $999, or if you're a student, teacher, or in the military, $899, a nice little discount there, I think it'll give you everything you'll need for a general purpose laptop. But I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know in the comments section below. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's a device or something out there you think I should review. I'll do my best to try to make that happen. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, my website, amdtechreviews.com. So until next time, this is Andrew from AMD Tech. See ya.